Hello, we are Team 6 and we are studying about Seoul Metropolitan Government. Our team member is Kim Myung-jun, Ha Jun-hyuk, Kim Chan-ju, Tae Ji-sung, Park Soo-jin, and Kim Hae-bin. And we will talk about Seoul Metropolitan Government. Last week, we talked about superstructure and steel structure. Its all form, gang form, and end method. It's a lot about linear structure part, and we will review this briefly. The all form used in most part of building. And as you can see, it is aluminum form, so it can be reused for multiple times. And if we consider of numbers of reuse, the R form is much cheaper than other forms. We talk about securing safety by installing gang form in Code 1, which is located outside. And method is selected under urban construction, period of construction, and structural circumstances. The key is that if John A1 is doing the fastest construction of the n plus 1 floor, the process before one step is carried out as it goes to the right. This enables more efficient workload balancing. This week, we will talk about nonlinear structure. Uyghur, who designed City Hall, tried to express traditionality, dynamism, transparency through non-linear facade. The facade is consisted of truss steel frame and glass material. But last week, linear structure part, which means and method started from left. Nonlinear construction is not one way. Then, how did they construct the nonlinear part? In the process of construction, because the working radius overlaps between the preservation main building and the non-adjacent frame and the linear frame. The order of construction is not separated by section, like completing the construction of the main building and completion of unstructured construction and completion of linear frame section. The order of construction is not intervened. This shows the sequence of construction. First, install ninth floor of single dome. Install the 10th to 13th floors of the B zone in the single dome. Inside installation of main building. In CW1, installing curtain wall frames. Main building west side installation. And curtain wall frame installation. Insert A zone 10 to 13th floor in Sunggang-dong. In this order, the overall construction sequence is carried out. From now, we'll discuss about curtain wall. Curtain wall frames consist of a combination of truss structures. The contractor had three alternatives to join trusses. First is to use a pin on both the top and bottom. Second alternative is slaughter upper and pin over. Third pin is upper and second the slaughter is down. The second and third alternatives were not hinged. A problem has arisen. The curtain wall of this building is carved. That is, because of the curvature of the curtain wall, the difference between the left and right sides of the frame is large. The large deflection difference due to severe curvature constrains the mobility of slot holes and eventually eliminates the reason for use of slot holes. Another problem with alternative 2 and 3 is the problem with the stress concentration due to wind load and the connection of slot holes, such as alternative 1. They selected alternative 1. It starts reset from first floor to ninth floor above ground. It completes the installation number 1. Secure the second load to the PRD column. Use a temporary material with a 60 mm iron wire. Number 3. Installation of steel frames on the second floor of the fourth floor. Sky equipment number 5. Install the next floor using the H and D crane wire 6 fixation. When steel set is completed, it shows this kind of steel frame. After we make one line, and we start making undercut. Make it from left to right. By moving the steel frame, the crane was used to move it. The crane used to make steel frame to go up. Let's look at the order of steel installation through the cross-sectional view. For the first line, the unit tower is set up. Secure the return load to the PRD column. At this time, the embeds are buried in the column. Secure the unit to the bottom of the ground floor with the following wire. Installing the second unit with a crane. Retaining the lever and installing the wire as shown in the first. Installing third unit with tower crane. Likewise, fixation of rewiring and wire installation. When these 3 units are installed up to the 9th floor as the set, a line is completed. On site, the temporary material was installed with a 16 mm iron wire. It used the 25 recombinant. Therefore, installing frames from left to right completes an unconstructed structure. This is the picture after completed installing of the steel frame. In this part, we have one question. How do we maintain the shape of an unstructured steel frame without falling when it needs to be properly maintained during the installation process? The answer is the installation of temporary materials and interlayer connection blocks supports nonlinear steel frames and keeps the shape intact. To serve structurally, the temporary member constrains the horizontal member, and connection block constrains the vertical and horizontal force. Dimensions error may occur during on-site installation. To prevent this, the verticality of the steel frame was checked using a device called theodolite. Also, the distance to the baseline was checked frequently. It measured the verticality of frame and the angle of the frame. Next theme of our presentation is glazing part. How its productivity and the advantages and disadvantages of factory production. Our Team 6 role location is 하준혁, method and sequence, 최지성, method and sequence, 김병준, Rhino and BIM program, 김혜빈, assembling and PPT, 박수진, assembling and PPT, 김찬주, on-site installation and presentation. Thanks for listening to our